Well, okay, I'm going to go ahead. Welcome. Good evening. For those.
Excuse me.
Yeah, put her on mute.
Can you hear me okay? Okay, for those of you who are not from Houston, welcome to Houston. For those of you who did not attend St. John's, welcome to campus. For those of you who are from St. John's, welcome back. Welcome back to the place where it all started 12 years ago in that library, I'm told, right there. I'm Tony Davis. I'm the father of the groom. I'm also a federal judge, which under the laws of the state of Texas, I have the authority to conduct this ceremony and sign the certificate. Fortunately, my colleague from Austin is here this evening. So if at some point I should collapse into a puddle of emotions, Judge Mont will jump up here and proceed seamlessly with the ceremony. Nothing to worry about. Please take out your phones and silence them. The ceremony is about to begin.
Great job. You're doing great. Now you gotta go sit next to your dad. Sit next to your dad.
Please stand to greet the bride. Thank you. Please sit down. Well, Evan and Hannah have asked me to open this ceremony by giving you some of my thoughts on the institution of marriage. And I think I might have a few things to say about Evan and Hannah. 34 years, 2 months, and 1 day ago, I married this lovely woman in the front row. And there have been many highlights in our journey, of which this day is the latest. We were married in a religious ceremony. Evan and Hannah have chosen a civil ceremony. Both are equally recognized by the state of Texas as providing the basis for a legally binding marriage. So in trying to define marriage, I looked at some religious traditions first as a comparison. And in the Catholic and Episcopal traditions, marriage is considered a sacrament. St. Augustine, philosopher, theologian, and did I mention he was a saint? He described a sacrament as the visible, I'm going to mess this up, the outward visible sign of an inward invisible grace. Now, I understand the doctrine of grace is the subject of a lot of theological controversy. I'm not going there. If I use that phrase again, it should have no religious connotation whatsoever. And in any event, I'm a judge, not a saint. And this is a civic ceremony. And I guess I put on my legal thinking cap. I was a lawyer before I became a judge. It's what Catherine's mother, bless her heart, and rest her soul, described as my little legal mind. But for some reason, Edna always put an emphasis on the little. So marriage is a legally binding commitment. And I want to focus on that word commitment. I realize it's a very strong word, but marriage at its best is a strong institution and connotes a strong relationship deserving of a strong word. Now you might object. You might say, wait a minute, what about love? Why don't you start with love? Well, I can tell you, you don't get to 34 years, 2 months, and 1 day without love. But love is a necessary but not sufficient condition. It takes more than love. It takes patience. It takes understanding. It takes empathy. It takes sympathy. It takes communication, collaboration, a little bit of negotiation, and a whole lot of accommodation. In short, it takes every people skill you've ever been taught, ever learned on your own, or had a natural affinity for, including the most overlooked and underrated people skill of all, and that's the ability to listen to another human being. So hold those thoughts in your mind. I'm going to talk about Evan and Hannah a little bit. Evan was our firstborn, and he bore the burden of being the firstborn well. Ever since Evan was a little boy, until I think that fateful evening of the junior prom, Evan's first love was computers. In fact, when Evan was in 3rd grade, he undertook this careful investigation of all his 3rd grade classmates, came home and announced to Catherine that we were the only family in his entire 3rd grade class that did not have a home computer. Evan, I'm sorry. I was waiting for him to get the bugs out, okay? So Evan turned deprivation into inspiration and now has a computer science degree from the University of Virginia, has a resume working as a software engineer, and I think it's safe to say that Evan is off to a fine start to what will be a successful career. Catherine and I are very proud of Evan for that, but we're far more proud of the fact that he's a wonderful son and a first-rate big brother. Now, about Hannah. I'm going to put this simply. The Davis family just loves Hannah. And with her wit, her charm, and her engaging personality, how couldn't we? 2 stories about Hannah. In one story, Mitch, Graham, and I we're walking or riding somewhere, I can't remember which, but out of the blue, Mitch says, "Who's Mom's favorite child?" And while the question mark hasn't quite formed in my mind, they both blurt out, "Hannah." Hannah, I think favorite might be a little too strong, and I know you're competitive. I think you're going to have to settle for well-loved.
I'll take it.
Okay, second story is a little bit longer, and I'll try to be quick. I know it's getting hot out here. Evan surprises us one Christmas. And so we end up downtown in front of a building, and on the building is a sign that says the escape gate. And so we quickly learn that what this is all about is they lock us into the series of rooms that has objects in it. The rooms have objects in them, and you have to solve clues. And if you solve enough clues in the right order within 1 hour, the last clue allows you to escape from the rooms. If you don't, you suffer the ignominy of the escape game employees letting you out of the room. So the 6 of us, these two, Catherine and I, Mitch and Graham, commenced upon the escape game. Catherine got the first clue. I helped out on the second or third. But then after that, we just had to sit back because these 4 brilliant young adults just raced through that room, solving clues left and right. We just sat back and watched. They communicated, they collaborated, and ultimately they conquered the escape game in 38 minutes flat. The reason I mention that is while watching these 4 work, I could see the team skills that Hannah has learned from business consulting on innumerable teams in her career, and also as a lawyer with 30 years of practice working with all manner of consultants. I can tell you that Hannah is off to a great start on what will be a successful career. Now, none of what I just said about Hannah is the best thing about Hannah. None of what I just said about Evan is the best thing about Evan. The best thing about Hannah and the best thing about Evan is their amazing relationship. And you know what I mean. You've seen them together. They have so much in common, and I'll get back to that. But second, there's that hard to see but hard to miss glow of 2 people in love, which parenthetically reminds me of Augustine's invisible grace. And then finally, it's the way they talk to one another. If you've ever listened to them as they make a decision, one talks, the other listens intently. It's really wonderful to see. And they talk to one another in conditional language, not absolute language. And by that I mean they'll say, well, yes, that would be a good idea. It would be a lot of fun, but what about this other place that we haven't tried yet? Okay? Instead of over my dead body. And so if you communicate like that long enough, you build a committed relationship. These 2 have been at it for 10 years. Now there will be things that tug at that relationship. There's Hannah's brutal travel schedule. There's Evan's sports hobby du jour. But for all of that, they have so much in common keeping them together. I think first and foremost, they have a fierce love of and loyalty to family. They love to travel. They love to entertain. They love Napa Valley. They love watching Veep on Netflix. And last but hardly least, they have a shared love of their only child so far, Dexter the dog. So now they're about to take vows. And what kind of vows are they? They're vows of commitment. And that's the heart of this wedding ceremony. But this wedding ceremony is about something else as well. This wedding ceremony is a celebration. It's a celebration of the beauty and the wonder and the inward and visible grace of this relationship. You survived. Okay, good. Okay, in uniting in marriage, 2 individuals leave the families that raised them to begin a new family. At this time, I ask that Catherine, Patty, and Ken please come forward and stand with me in blessing this marriage. As parents of the bride and groom, who have loved, raised, and nurtured these 2 individuals, will you join me in offering our blessing for their marriage by promising to support them, understand them, and encourage them in the years ahead? If you agree, please say with me, we will. We will. And to the witnesses and honored guests today, I ask the same question. Will you offer your blessing for their marriage, promising to support them, understand them, and encourage them in the years ahead? If you agree, please say, we will. We will. Parents, thank you. At this point, Evan and Hannah would like to state their promises to each other. I've got to get these cards right. Okay. Evan, you're first.
Okay. Guess I should stand in the mic.
Yeah.
Okay. Hannah, our friends and family have made a lot of jokes this weekend about the length of our relationship, but I wouldn't have it any other way. I love that you've been a fixture in my life for so long. This is going to take longer than a minute. And I think that spending that time together makes today's words in front of those friends and family all the more meaningful. I want to say that having you by my side for the last 11 years has been the single greatest thing that's ever happened to me, but it's been so much more than that. We've shared junior prom, weekends at the lake, 4 years in Virginia, raising our insane dog, a flat tire in the middle of Utah, living in the cutest house in Dallas, finding the perfect place in San Francisco, and now a magical wedding weekend with you. And that's just a little of what we've done so far. I can't wait to see what the future has in store, and as long as I'm with you, I know it will be great. Hannah Elizabeth Jeffers, I promise, now and forever, from snuggling on familiar couches to exploring far-off continents, to always love you.
Evan, these short vows could never adequately capture everything we've shared over the past 11 years and everything you are to me. I love the life that we have created together and the relationship that we've worked so hard for. I take comfort in the distances we've overcome and the challenges we've conquered, knowing that there will be more to come. And most of all, I adore the kind, handsome, and supportive man you are. A man whom I trust with every insecurity I have and mistake I make, and a man I want by my side for everything beautiful and joyous and good. Thank you for always loving me. You make me feel loved every day. So incredibly loved. I will spend the rest of my life hoping to make you feel as loved as you have made me feel. I can't promise that I will suddenly become a morning person. I will always try to take my half of the bed out of the middle. But I will work as hard as I can to make our life together a happy one. I will always support you, always encourage you, and always love you.
We ready?
Yeah.
I think it's okay.
Do you, Evan, take Hannah to be your lawfully wedded wife? Do you promise to love her and give yourself to her in marriage freely and without reservations?
I do.
Evan, please repeat after me. I, Evan Davis, take you, Hannah Jeffers, to be my wife.
I, Evan Davis, take you, Hannah Jeffers, to be my wife.
To have and to hold from this day forward.
To have and to hold from this day forward.
For better or for worse.
For better or for worse.
For richer, for poor.
For richer, for poorer.
In sickness and in health.
In sickness and in health.
To love and to cherish.
To love and to cherish.
From this day forward, as long as we both shall live.
From this day forward, as long as we both shall live.
Do you, Hannah, take Evan to be your lawfully wedded husband? Do you promise to love him and give yourself to him in marriage freely and without reservation?
I do.
Hannah, please repeat after me. I, Hannah Jeffers, take you, Evan Davis, to be my husband.
I, Hannah Jeffers, take you, Evan Davis, to be my husband.
To have and to hold from this day forward.
To have and to hold from this day forward.
For better or for worse.
For better or for worse.
For richer or for poorer.
For richer or for poorer.
In sickness and in health.
In sickness and in health.
To love and to cherish.
To love and to cherish.
From this day forward, as long as we both shall live.
From this day forward, as long as we both shall live.
Cullen, you're up. Evan, please place this ring, or wait a minute. Okay, so we're starting here. We're okay. Evan, please place this ring on Hannah's finger and repeat after me. I give you this ring.
I give you this ring
As a symbol of my commitment.
as a symbol of my commitment.
And as a daily reminder of my love for you.
And as a daily reminder of my love for you.
Hannah, please place this ring on Evan's finger and repeat after me. I give you this ring
I give you this ring
as a symbol of my commitment
as a symbol of my commitment
and as a daily reminder of my love for you.
and as a daily reminder of my love for you.
You have made your marriage vows to one another, witnessed by your friends and family. You've sealed your vows with the giving and receiving of these rings. So now, by the power vested in me by the state of Texas, I pronounce you husband and wife. You may now celebrate your marriage with a kiss. I present to you the newly married couple, Mr. and Mrs. Evan and Hannah Davis. Okay, we're not done yet. Sorry. That concludes the ceremony. If you could just stay for a few minutes for a group photo, and then everyone can depart except extended family members, wedding party, and St. John's alumni who must stay for pictures. Everyone else is free for cocktail hour. Let's take the pictures.
Yes.
So Joey.